it your crotch?
It has something to do with my crotch. Doom was the nickname an ex-girlfriend gave to my penis. It's
Your
just as
penis
gory.
is your penis is filled with doom. Just cold opens.
Yeah, that's
They're
why I'm
great.
probably not gonna have kids.
Cold opens are the best ever.
I'm Chris.
I'm Neil.
And I'm Stargate Pioneer, and we're the hosts of the Starling Tribune podcast.
A podcast member of the Gonna Geek Network.
Just like the show you're listening to now.
The opinions expressed are those of each individual.
Check out all the other podcasts
At GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
And get ready.
because geekiness begins in
3,
2.
1.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy, brought to you by the Gonna Geek Network. Bringing you the latest nerdy news and geekdom, here are the hosts of the show. Anthony,
No pants, all bacon and dick butts.
Naki,
Anthony, you need to get laid.
Willie.
I don't need boobs to like a movie.
Chris,
So when Chris doesn't know how to transition to a new topic because he's flustered, he just hits the button on the soundboard.
and sometimes some special guests.
As Magneto once said, "Ha ha ha, welcome to die!"
If you're a kid and listening, you rock and your parents are awful.
A brand new ATGN starts in 3, 2, 1.
I don't have anything witty to say to open the show because the cold open in and of itself was even better.
I mean, we can continue to talk about Willie's crotch, but
I think we just call him Doom for the rest of the day.
Doom.
I'm okay with that. I've been called worse.
So Draftsman's obviously heard that in the chat room already. He goes, Willie must be swinging some major lumber to have a penis that is filled with doom. Good morning, all.
Hi, Jasmine.
Oh, I love our peanut gallery. I really do.
I wish. I mean, yeah, it's true.
Of course it's true.
Doom.
It's a piece of lumber, not a toothpick. Who said that?
Doom.
Steven said, funny enough, he calls his penis Willie. Who'd have thunk it? So on that note, welcome everyone to episode 212 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast, recorded live on Sunday, May 29th, 2016. I'm Chris. Joining me today we have Naki.
Hi.
Willie, a.k.a. Doom.
Doom.
I'm right here, guys. Hey, how's it going?
How's it going? And the one, the only, Anthony Bachman.
Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra, indeed.
Eat a Snickers.
That's the best meme out
That
there.
was the best one.
Not you when
Those
you're hungry,
damn
cat.
double knots.
For those not watching live, I'm wearing my Captain America shirt, so
Oh.
that's why that made sense.
The chat room's getting contentious. Now we have a comment back to Steven saying, I thought you called it Shorty. Ooh.
Yo,
even-
shouty.
I don't even know how to handle that.
I don't think I can go any further than that without it being
I think
copyright
Suncast
claim.
just won.
Yep.
Psychic Willie's going on, and he's coming up. There's going to be lots of dick jokes on my account today. I can tell it.
Well, look. I'm with the original robot penis today. Yeah, set that down gently. Set it down gently. Do not
He
make
just
a
said
knocking
Psychic Willie
noise.
is coming.
Yeah, don't be rough with the penis.
That bump is going to get overplayed today. I'm calling it already.
Yeah,
Today
it's
is-
already overplayed today.
Today is the day for penis.
Overplayed? No.
I think anytime I hear the word penis happen, I'm just going to hit the button.
Today is the day for penis.
So it's like Pee-wee's Playhouse and the secret word of the day.
The secret word of the day.
Okay, I probably won't do that because that's way too shock jockey if I have to push that button so many times.
If you know you're just going to start saying
You have
it,
your finger
all
on
the
the
time.
button and ready.
Yes, sir.
Yes, do it.
Chris responds to penis.
Oh.
See?
I hate you all.
I already hate that sound.
I do too.
No, you
I could-
don't.
I can find
No,
a
you
different
don't. Stop
sound.
lying.
We could just hit the red alert button anytime someone says it.
No.
that's when anybody says cock.
No, we're not playing that game. I don't know. We're so far randomly down the beaten path. I apologize. I have no idea how to do an opening anymore.
It started with Willie's crotch.
I blame Willie.
Doom.
Like most good times.
Well played. Well played, I think. So, before we get started on the show, how's it going, everyone?
It's filled with doom and crotch, apparently.
Phrasing.
God damn it.
You're welcome, Chris. I bet you're regretting now 5 or whatever, how many years ago that you asked me to be on the show.
A little over 4.
The last thing anybody wants this morning is to be full of doom.
And he has regretted it ever since.
I mean, simple math. This is episode 212, so episode 1, 52 episodes in a year. It's over 4 years.
Yeah. How many years of that is regret?
3.5. I won't tell you where that half of non-regret fits in.
It's
So
sprinkled. It's sprinkled throughout.
There's like 1 month here and there.
Let's put it this way. This is one of those weeks I regret.
I'm not referring to your penis as doom, at least.
Well, thank God for miracles.
Damn it, Steven. I wish his phrasing was better. He says it starts with Willie's crotch. Really? That was left untouched? Yeah, sadly, I've been through some dry spells, and Willie's crotch has been untouched.
You didn't take care of it yourself? Come on now.
I'm gonna say.
Come on now.
Self-love is best love.
Hey, I have standards, and I'm not that good looking.
Okay, well played. I don't even know how to fight that, so I'm not even going to bother. Not even going to bother.
There isn't a way to fight that at this point.
There is a way to fight it. It's called I Hit the Bump, and we go on with the show.
There you go.
Live from the AT&T studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
That's right, folks. It's that part of the show where we talk about what we think is the news of the week, and I hope to God it's not Willie's crotch. I really do.
Well, apparently my news sounded dirty to Anthony.
Well, then we'll go with you first, since yours sounds dirty.
Mine is that Mitomo has taken a plunge in user.
Okay, it does sound a little weird.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
The plunge of Mitomo. There's something about that, the way that's worded.
But basically, Mitomo has become a ghost town, and I'm not entirely too surprised, honestly, because like I played it for I think the first week that it came out, and then I just kind of stopped because it's literally just asking me questions and then dropping my onto like things to try and catch things. But 95% of the time, you don't catch anything. You catch candy, which what the fuck do you use the candy for?
You mean you don't like letting Nintendo data mine you for free?
It's so boring. Like the game is boring, and so like TechCrunch released like their data on like why where the plunge had happened, and like it's like basically people played it for a week and they were just like meh, and it was over. And like it's cool to have Mitomo, like I guess, because you got your own little me in your phone, and that's kind of cute. And you can like dress it in different outfits, I guess. But I guess you could also just go get some paper dolls and do that too. Or you could use this Instagram where you have filters. I mean, it's just kind of silly, and it just became kind of pointless. So they're talking about how Nintendo's first mobile app failed, and technically it didn't fail. It had over 10 million users in its first week, but it's still failing in the sense that it has no lastability.
It's the retention aspect that's a problem with that, because I don't know, did anyone else on the show try Mitomo? I know Naki did, and I know I did.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
What's Mitomo?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a Nintendo thing, so I didn't expect the Sony fanboy to know it. I'll be honest.
No, I'm being serious. I really don't know.
Okay,
so it's a mobile app. I can pull it up on my phone. Not that I play it, but it's just like sitting in my games queue here, and it's just like you just like play with the Miis. And that's all that it is. And it asks you questions like that you can share, kind of like if you were on Twitter and Twitter asked you a question and you're just like, yes, I do like grilled cheese sandwiches, and like that was it. Like it's really kind of lame. You can't swear in it, so you got to get creative. The only thing that was
kind of sandwiches.
Communists, I assume.
Lactose intolerant communists.
Hydra?
Hail Hydra.
I was gonna wait.
Hydra
on that.
hates grilled
beat
cheese.
me to it. Fucking Hydra.
No Hell Hydra.
But
Willie's own peanut
But
gallery is hailing Hydra. Yes.
but basically, it's just like Twitter with me's, and it's kind of.
But it's worse than that, because it's not like you can post something with links and hashtags and have people be able to find curated content from you. It's you speak into a void, and people see it if they go and visit you in Miitomo. Or
Sorry, there's noise happening.
Copyright.
Oh, look. Okay, so it does your photo of the day. This is my photo of the day. Me kicking and screaming and saying, no, 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 no.
That skirt's riding up kind of high.
I know! It's so naughty!
Damn it, Nintendo. I need to get
slutty
on that.
It's
Penis.
naughty. Okay,
so
I'm trying
the
to
problem
turn
with
this
it
off.
is,
There we go.
at least with like Twitter and Facebook, you've got a way to actually share stuff where people can see it. In order for people to see your updates in Miitomo, they have to go visit your Mii character in your
And
Mii
that's
house.
That's what costs you the candy that you get in the Mii Drop game, or whatever it's called. But like now I have like 3,000 pieces of candy, and I don't use it because I don't know how to get to other people's houses anyways, because I don't care.
Okay, this makes so much more sense, because I thought you were talking about actual candy, and you were saying, what are people going to do with candy? I was like, eat it.
Well, we do know somebody who's been on some of the network podcasts that has some 15-year-old lollipops they can send you if you want them.
I'm not going to say no.
But going back to Miitomo, the whole reason everyone went to it is because, like, oh, Nintendo's making an app. And then everyone played around with the app for a week and went, oh, Nintendo made an app. And I don't really care in hindsight.
Like it was such a cool concept to think about that you were gonna get, you know, a Nintendo app, and you're like, oh sweet, like maybe they'll start porting over their games in like a decent format and not like one of the terrible emulators that exist.
Which are technically illegal because they're using ROMs to do it.
Exactly, and so you were just kind of like, ooh sweet, maybe I'll get some sweet ass Mario action, and then you were like, this
Space
is,
Knights?
you know, something, and then it was just sad. It was like. It wasn't it's not worth the time or effort to like even get it started, honestly. And like the fact that it took, like, when I said I'm gonna pull it up to, I think it was like 1 minute and 30 seconds for it to even load on my phone. It's just like, yeah, it's not worth it.
So there's actually a really cool article that SurveyMonkey put together, and I don't know if it's actually going to work on my screen share or not. It seems not to be working because screen share is broken in Google Hangouts for some reason. But
yeah.
They start going through the metrics on it, like average days used per week based off of their surveys. A game called Clash Royale was used 4.2 days per week on average. Candy Crush Saga 3.3 days per week on average. Then Miitomo 2.3 days per week on average. So 2 out of 7 days. That's not good.
Yeah, it's not. Well, that's honestly, and that's the thing, is that like even after you answer some of the questions and whatever, you start getting repeats, or like everybody gets asked the same question anyways. So it's like, and then there was this one weird one about flowers, like how many flowers do you envision in your vase?
Yes.
And it was like, this is how many people you'll sleep with, and it's like,
what?
Yeah, it was really weird, and I was just like, I'm not cool with that. Like,
well, some more statistics that kind of show the weaknesses they've had is you go and look at the weekly churn for some of these games. Churn meaning people will try it for a week and then don't come back. For a game called Clash Royale, it's 20%, Candy Crush Saga 23%, Miitomo 48%. So it's a lot of people that, like I said earlier, oh, it's Nintendo, I got to take a look at this, that looked at it and went, the hell am I doing here? This is dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, if you haven't seen it, go look at some of the things Cody said about Miitomo on Game Life Balance US or on Twitter on things. He's like, why am I doing this? I don't get it.
It's, you really want to like this game because it's Nintendo, but it's not even a game. It's just answering questions about flowers in a field, and then that's how many people you're going to have sex with.
So the positive for them here is they've shown that they can...
Penis.
They've shown they can draw people in with a Nintendo name, which is something they're going to need when Pokemon Go comes out in part. You've got a little bit of background there, and people are going, okay, Nintendo's done at least an app before, and let's be honest, Pokemon Go is going to sell itself on the fact it's Pokemon.
Yeah.
From the beta testers that I know, because there's a few of them out there who got into the testing, they all love it. So there's that.
It does look cool.
It does look really cool,
Now,
so I'll probably be playing.
Are they doing that? Now, are they making that in like with their own developers, or are they hiring out like actual mobile developers to do that?
I honestly don't know for the Pokemon Go. It's probably a combination of in-house and out-of-house is my guess, but I have no clue.
They have some affiliation with Google with it too, because they're using Google Earth in it.
Well, they're using the Google Earth API probably to get in and use that. I mean, the premise behind Pokemon Go, for those that don't know, is it's literally Pokemon battles in real life. Your phone will be in your pocket. It'll buzz. You get a notification from Pokemon Go. You turn on your phone, and it uses your camera, and you get a scene of the world around you with the Pokemon you have to fight overlaid over top of it, and you fight the Pokemon and capture it. It's pretty cool. It's literally Pokemon in real life.
Yeah, which I think I'm going to be able to start smacking kids that are walking around with their phones trying to find Pokemons. I'm just going to smack them in the back of the fucking head.
Well, I mean, that's not
Anthony's
necessarily
surprised.
how it
Bachman,
works.
like you actually need a reason to smack kids, Bachman.
Yes, I do.
No, just go ahead and hit them for no reason, just because they're there.
No, if I do it for no reason, then I seem mean.
As opposed to just
And
doing it
that's
because you don't like what they're
different.
doing.
Yeah. At least then there's a reason.
It's not necessarily not mean.
I didn't say that, but I said at least there's a reason.
I've generally found in life it's not advisable
There's
to go
a
around
reason to do it
smacking
anyway,
kids.
just because they're kids.
Oh, God. Send all of your hate mail to Anthony@GonnaGeek.com or Willie@GonnaGeek.com. They'll be happy to get back to you immediately.
Yep. And that email address actually works.
Like anyone who listens to this actually likes kids.
Well, I mean, some kids, they're apparently parents who let their children listen to us. Sorry.
Those poor bastards.
Yeah, bad
Okay,
parents.
okay, I got this. Do you need a reason to hit Tim Tom?
Yes, just because it wouldn't be worth the jail time.
Are you kidding?
I mean,
to have
that kid's
that fight on my record that I fought the epic Tim Tom, it'd be totally worth it.
that kid. Like, don't get me wrong. Like that kid's an
Let's make a
asshole.
movie.
But I don't. He's not worth me going to jail over. Like, I think the only like.
Epic poem to be written.
Trying to think, like, what child would I be willing to go to jail for beating the shit out of? And
Justin
like,
Bieber.
that's not a child.
He's not a child anymore. He's in
He's
his
like
20s.
25 now.
Yeah.
I
Have you
know,
looked
geez,
at him?
Have you seen the
He's
size
not
of
a
his
man.
tomb?
No.
How often are you looking at Justin Bieber, Anthony? That's what I want
Right?
to know.
That's my question.
Do you want to admit to some secret
Nope.
feelings here? Do you
Sadly, he
are you a
keeps
fan?
popping up and shit.
What do
sure.
you mean?
They have a segment on him on Hollywood Babylon.
That's what he's saying right now. I think we got a believer in the crowd.
I fucking hate that little Canadian bitch.
Oh, yeah, you're a believer.
I will hurt you, Chris.
Steven's going to let you have it. He's Canadian, so he can bestow upon you that title, and I'm sure he'll say in the chat room here momentarily
Yeah.
that it's all yours.
Mr.
As the-
President also has a flip-top head and owes us a apology for sending Bieber to our country.
Well, I mean,
And Celine Dion.
She ain't that bad. No one's as bad as Bieber.
I don't know. Have you seen our current?
They also did give us Jim Carrey.
I mean, they've given us some good things too. I mean, as much as I don't like Arrow, I mean, we still got Stephen Amell. He's Canadian.
I love the draftsman's answer in here. He goes, I think
Yes?
Anthony has been Googling Beaver, and Justin just keeps coming up.
There's also
Because his fans can't spell his
Right.
name correctly.
Ryan Reynolds. He's Canadian.
That's true. So's Deadpool and Wolverine.
So-
They've given us lots of good stuff. Not
Steven-
enough to make up for Bieber.
Steven has mentioned in the chat room, he says, up in Canada, we stopped calling them Beliebers. We just call them Bachmans.
Fuck you, Steven. Fuck you very much.
So if you want to be... I love how Willie was trying so hard not to lose it, and then just totally loses it.
Yeah, we're if you're listening to the audio, we're watching as Willie is like turning more and more red to try not to lose it.
He's taking a drag off a smoke and trying not to die at the same time. That's pretty good.
Now, speaking of things that are dead, that segues into my news of the week. You know how everyone has this theory that Supreme Commander Snoke is really Darth Plagueis, and everyone keeps talking about it? Well, they're effing wrong. And how we know this is because Pablo Hidalgo, who is Lucasfilm's Star Wars story group and continuity king, has basically said so. He keeps getting harassed on Twitter, everyone asking if that's the case, and here's what he most recently said. He goes, in regards to Plagueis, his apprentice killed him. I said Sidious killed Plagueis. He killed him. Killed, as in to kill, like there was killing. If you want any more, if you want to simplify it even more, he said, he is dead. There you go. 3 words. Snoke is not Plagueis.
Now hold on a sec. Now, they're just saying that, just like J.J. Abrams said Cumberbatch was not Khan, right?
No, that's just J.J. Abrams thought we were dumber than we actually are.
I say, but wasn't the whole point that Plagueis could raise people from the dead?
If he got it to work.
I don't think he ever got it to work.
Yeah, so even if he's dead, it doesn't necessarily mean he's gone.
No,
it's
he's
Star
dead.
Wars. They can do whatever they want.
He's dead. That whole debate always like confused me because I'm like, he's dead. Plagueis is dead.
As far as I know, we've never seen Plagueis in the movies, have we?
He was never seen in the movies. He was only referenced in Episode 3. The book that was written about Darth Plagueis and Darth Sidious is no longer canon.
Yeah, so we know nothing about Plagueis in the movies in canon. So
other than we know that he was Sidious's master.
So he's dead.
He's dead though, and he is not Supreme Commander Snoke. He is dead.
I don't know why everybody wants Snoke to be somebody else. Why can't he just be Supreme Commander Snoke?
Because everyone wants to think there's a trick to it, and there's no trick. He's dead. In the words of Pablo Hidalgo, he is dead.
He's dead.
Dead.
The end. He's dead.
Dead.
Super dead. Super dead. He's dead.
Super dead?
So
He's
you...
super dead.
Wow. I think he's dead.
He's dead, just like New 52 Superman is dead. Dead.
Good.
Oh, there we go. The
Dead,
top
dead.
of the heap of nobody gives a shit. I literally read the article about someone wrote this awesome article about Superman's dead and nobody cares. They quite literally in the book that he dies, he's caught by another version of Superman that they already have as a replacement. They have bearded Clark Kent to replace the Superman that's dying before they even go into the new the new 52.
That's because bearded Clark Kent is actually Superman from pre-New 52. Somehow he and Lois Lane survived the New 52 purge and were living in the New 52 world. He was just keeping his head down. So
actually,
this Superman whose shirt I'm wearing still exists.
Depending on the drawing that you look at, he's fucking CM Punk in a black Superman shirt is who he is.
So what they're saying is they're trying to trump Captain America and his news of the week. And that's what we get.
Yeah, they didn't even get close.
Well, to be honest, the scripts for all of these things were already in place well before they actually happened.
Yeah, but like always, DC tried to
Bring
do
back
something
Mullet
big.
Superman.
The Rebirth news was good, though. I've heard positive, good stuff about people that actually read Rebirth #1.
Rebirth was amazing. It was everything that I wanted them to do. It's Jeff Johns basically saying, hey, we effed up with New 52, and the first 4 pages are basically us apologizing about it with a monologue of a character who they then reveal to be someone awesome, who I won't spoil in case people haven't read Rebirth #1, unless you want spoiled.
Big blue penis.
Question.
Yes.
Now that he's done writing it, because he has other things to do, is it going to suck?
Well, I think he was only supposed to be kicking off the Rebirth event, so I'm not super concerned there because he basically just set the path for what they have to do.
That doesn't mean it's going to go well.
They brought Wally West back. My Wally is back, and it almost made me cry at one point in the comic. It was very powerful and very well done. Wally's back. The real Wally.
So you're happy? Is that what you're saying?
Super happy. The whole premise is that some of the stuff that went on, well, I won't get into the BS of how they tied it into some other books, but basically Wally West becomes aware of everything that is messed up and is trying to find someone in the New 52 world that recognizes him so that he can actually be removed from the Speed Force. But every time he goes and talks to someone, he becomes less and less powerful and starts to break apart more. So like at one point he goes and talks to Batman. Batman doesn't recognize him, and finally his last person he goes to talk to is his Uncle Barry, and he's falling apart, and he appears before him, and Barry doesn't recognize him, and he just kind of has this sad, tearful goodbye to him and goes, "You're my uncle, I always love you, I try to do all these things," and then all of a sudden Barry remembers him and reaches out and grabs him by the hand, and it pulls Wally back into this world, and there's just this hug between the two of them. He's like, "How could I ever forget you?" And you're just like, oh, right in my heart. It's so powerful. You know, Cajun Sean's asking if we have two Wally Wests. We do. There is still the Wally West from New 52 and the pre-New 52 Wally West in the same world now.
Yeah, and what Steven said is absolutely wrong.
I don't know what Steven said. What did
he
Steven
said
say?
Rebirth is an actual movement, well thought out. Cap is a cash grab, an attempt to overshadow Rebirth.
Okay, so
If you don't think Rebirth is a cash grab, you don't understand comics. It's literally DC resetting again after another 5-year storyline, like they always do.
So is this like Flashpoint all over again?
Yeah,
it's undoing
restart.
Flashpoint.
It's another restart into the entire DC universe. They are rebooting again because it's what DC does.
If you're watching the video, this is the panel that made me want to cry almost. Neil was the same as I, where Wally's brought back against all hope, and it's literally uncle and nephew hugging each other.
Nice.
And if you're a Wally West fan like me, you're just like, he's back! Oh, it hurts so good!
Yeah, because prior to the TV show, Barry Allen was a boring as fuck character. Wally West was the best Flash ever.
Well, depending on when you grew up, Wally West is your Flash, because remember, Barry Allen died in Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is what, 86?
Yeah, so Wally's been the Flash for a long time until they did the Flash Rebirth storyline, which Jeff Johns did and brought Barry back and basically tried to make him less boring.
Right, and it was a good story. And there was also, in the 90s, Mark Waid did the Return of Barry Allen arc, which was a tease that wasn't actually Barry Allen, but was also very good. I mean, but for me, growing up, Wally West was my Flash. For 20 years, he was the Flash by himself.
Yeah.
And they brought him back.
And Wally's great. Wally can do things that none of the other Flashes can do. Wally's the one who can travel through time. Wally's the one who can fucking steal momentum from other objects. Can run through things and make them explode fucking Gambit style. Okay. Wally does stuff with the Speed Force that none of the other speedsters ever figured out.
Caveat, Barry can travel through time, but only with the cosmic treadmill, was my understanding.
Yeah. Well, originally. Who knows now in the new universe what they're doing. But yeah, it's DC resetting again, like they always do. That's what DC does. They reset their universe whenever it gets too convoluted or whenever they have a problem that they can't figure out a way to actually right around. They just restart their universe.
But they're doing it for the right reason this time, because I remember the old fanboy buzz. They were all talking about the New 52, and nobody expected it to last a year. It lasted, what, like 5 at some point in time? But they've finally realized at this point what we didn't really work. Trying to make everything grim and gritty and make sure nobody's married, because that's not fun. It doesn't work. So Steven in the chat room has it right. He goes, this is undoing that stuff, trying to rebuild their universe and get back some diehard readers. It's more than a cash grab. And he gives an example. He said, look at Steve Boyd, for example. He's a massive DC fan. Both his sons are named after DC characters. He admittedly hasn't read DC since year 1 of New 52. That's the kind of person they want back. If they're going to just drop everything and go, we're going back, it would have driven everyone away. It wouldn't get people back. Now, and he is right. I mean, Steve Boyd, for instance, was doing Facebook Live videos talking about Rebirth #1 and how excited he was and how much he loved it. So from that perspective, Rebirth is working to get the old fans back that are going, this is the stuff I loved. You're going back to it with kind of a twist, because if you hadn't known, they did kind of tie Watchmen into DC continuity now, which could be interesting or weird. I'm not sure which.
They did the ultimate fuck you to Alan Moore. Now he'll never get his rights back.
He's an angry wizard. He's going to cast some hateful spells towards DC Comics.
I think the spells he casted are what gave us all the grim and gritty Superman movies.
Maybe.
He cost them millions of dollars.
Well, I mean, the thing with that is that they did that before Watchmen series, and I don't remember anything of it. So that shows you right there on how well they've treated
the Watchmen. Because I didn't.
I read the Ozymandias series because they said that one was pretty good, but I still don't remember it. Like, that's the thing, is like, I remember reading Ozymandias, I remember reading Rorschach, and I think I read the Chicks, Silk Spectres.
Silk Spectres.
And I think that was it.
Amanda
I didn't.
Conner work on those? I heard those were good.
She did. She did work on them, and I remember liking the art, but what happened in the stories, I can't tell you. Like, I have no idea.
So
yes,
I teased.
I've been waiting for a trade paperback sale to pick those up.
Yeah, so I teased it, and spoiler for anyone that doesn't want to know what the revelation is with the Watchmen universe and Rebirth. Skip ahead about 2 minutes. They basically reveal the fact that if you remember the end of Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan goes off to Mars to kind of be on his own and try and figure things out. It's Dr. Manhattan that screwed up the timeline around Flashpoint. It wasn't that Pandora character. It's Dr. Manhattan that changed the universe and was controlling things. So they've made Dr. Manhattan, all the Watchmen stuff, canon in DC via Rebirth. And also, Bruce Wayne finds the comedian's smiley face pin in the Batcave at the end.
Yeah.
My favorite thing that's happened with or not my favorite because I already did it, but one of the things that I've seen that come out with the memes for Hail Hydra and whatnot is Dr. Manhattan sitting on Mars, where it's just empty.
Right.
Yeah.
Hail Hydra.
They took the panel from Rebirth #1 because that's how Rebirth #1 ends, is Dr. Manhattan on Mars sitting by himself. And the reveal that basically everything that happened is because Dr. Manhattan screwed with time and screwed with the world.
Damn it, Dr. Manhattan, you and your big blue penis should
big floppy blue dick.
Yeah, he was bored.
I guess Doom. I mean, but we kind of buried Anthony's news because that was the other big comic news. But what was specifically your news, Anthony?
My specific news is the end of Captain America Steve Rogers issue 1 ends with Steve Rogers fucking saying the words "Hail Hydra," and the comic book nerd world lost their shit.
Eat a Snickers.
Yeah. Which, the best meme, is literally Sam Wilson, Cap, tossing him a Snickers, and Cap going back to normal because he doesn't feel like himself when he's hungry. But yeah, it's fucking hilarious because one, let's just get this out there. Fucking Nick Spencer has gotten death threats.
Well, that's ridiculous. It's one thing for people to be upset, but people that do that. Yeah.
It's a comic book. Settle the fuck down. Like, it's utterly ridiculous for any creator of anything to get a death threat no matter what they do. Do I like the idea? Do I like the story? Fuck no. I think it's awful. You know what also I didn't like? There used to be one rule in comics. Only Bucky stays dead. That was the only fucking rule. Uncle Ben had even been brought back a couple times. An alternate blah, blah, blah. But that was the one rule. Only Bucky stays dead. They fucking brought back Bucky. I thought it was an awful idea. Made for a great story. Made for a great fucking movie. They killed Cap. Awful fucking idea. Made for a great story. They do weird shit with their characters because these characters have been around for 60, 70 years. And you have to keep thinking of new ideas because otherwise people get bored and stop reading, like Action Comics. Nobody gave a fuck that Superman died. People are losing their shit that Steve Rogers said the words Hail Hydra. So right there, it's gotten more buzz than anything that DC's done with the entire Rebirth. One panel on one page, Nick Spencer got more fucking press coverage on a #1 issue of a book that nobody was looking to buy. The artist made him look like Super Pro. The new Cap's design is ridiculous. The fact that he's back in being young and Cap again, but doesn't have the shield because Sam Wilson is still Captain America, makes the book even more ridiculous. It's unnecessary.
He told Sam he could have the shield still.
Yeah, no, he told him he wasn't going back to being Captain America. Sam Wilson is still Captain America. So we don't even know who or what Cap's going to be moving forward in the story. Here's the thing. Nick Spencer, started writing Cap books in 2014. Him and the editors at Marvel have been aware that he was going to do this for over 2 years. So calling it a cash grab is ridiculous because it's just a really good story. Where he's going to take it, who fucking knows? Is it going to work? There's no way of knowing.
I don't know that a really good story is taking an intrinsic part of a character and then just changing it randomly out of left field.
Well,
that's where I'll disagree with you. I didn't like Superior Spider-Man at first. It's because of what it did to Spider-Man, not necessarily Peter Parker. What they have done here is not change Captain America. They've changed it so Steve Rogers has always been Hydra since the very beginning, which doesn't mesh with Captain America's backstory.
No, it doesn't. I agree with that. I think it's a bad idea.
Yes.
But here's the thing. This is the Superior Spider-Man Omnibus. This is an 18-issue story about the D-list Spider-Man villains In a Spider-Man title, Spider-Man only appears in this book in one panel in a dream sequence. This, in no way, should be a good book. I fucking love this story. Nick Spencer can write his ass off. If he's going so far as to have Captain America say, "Hail Hydra," I'm saying that he's got a fucking reason for it and a good story to go along with it. Because otherwise he wouldn't do it.
Yes, because Marvel would never do a bad idea and then retcon it later.
Well, by comparison, if you want to compare the big two and doing bad stories and retconning them, I'm going to go with Marvel over DC.
This is a typical Marvel thing where they take a character and then just randomly do something weird to them to get the headline. This is typical Marvel behavior.
Yeah, see, I don't think they were doing it to get a headline. I think Nick Spencer's telling the story, and people
They didn't
lost
put it
their
out the
shit.
same week as DC Rebirth #1 on purpose.
Oh, that's just Marvel kicking DC in the teeth because they're good at it. But come on, Captain America was a fucking werewolf for a while.
That's true.
Oh God!
Now, making him Hydra, I don't think it's a good idea, but I don't think they would fucking let Nick Spencer do that with that character, especially right after they made all that money off that movie, if there wasn't a fucking reason. If he didn't have a good story, they wouldn't have done it.
Money!
It's like you said, they took a book no one was going to care about, and people are going to at least read the next couple issues because they're effing mad, and it is what it is. I mean, I had already gotten issue #1 on my pull list after the free comic book day special because I was intrigued. But I'm not comfortable with this shift, and I understand why some people are upset because it doesn't make sense. Captain America, the paragon of virtue and all these things, a man who has wielded Mjolnir, who's been deemed worthy of it, is Hydra? What? He's been Hydra all along? What?
That's why I want to see what they do with the story. Because, yeah, supposedly Nick Spencer's going to make all of that make sense.
Good luck.
I mean, the only thing that I could see, and I haven't actually read the issue. It's on my tablet because boyfriend bought it, and so I get to read it because of that. But I haven't had the chance to read it yet. But the only thing that I could see is like he's a twist, and it's not, and like he's just like trying to sucker his way into Hydra for whatever reason. Like that's the only thing I could
Tom
see.
Tom Brevoort, one of the main editors there, said this is not a twist, this is not a clone, this is legit. Captain America's Hydra. The only people that know at the end of this issue is you, the reader, and we want to look forward to seeing how that influences your opinion in all these other books, like an Avengers book where Captain America does something and you're like,
okay,
why is he doing that?
Okay, then never mind what I just said because fuck that then. I mean, that's like... So, Captain America, the man who is known for punching Hitler in the face and, you know, fighting Nazis and making sure that Germany didn't win on that end, and then there was the whole, the communist thing, and Captain America, and he's Hydra? No, that's fucking stupid.
So, here's what I'll say.
I didn't want to give my opinion because I thought I haven't read it yet.
People are allowed to be upset. That's fine. Like Anthony said, the death threats and ridiculous stuff like that is way out of context. If you're upset, be mad. Don't read it. Talk about how pissed off you are about it. But don't be a dick about it to people. Don't send Nick Spencer like, oh, you're an asshole for doing this. If you don't want to read it, don't buy it.
Like, it helped. 5 years ago, none of us would have thought that telling a story where S.H.I.E.L.D. was Hydra was a good idea. Fucking Jonathan Hickman is a genius. He wrote an amazing story. Now, if you tell when fucking they found out in the Secret Warriors, when Nick Fury found out that S.H.I.E.L.D. was an organization created by Hydra, I thought that was the worst fucking idea I'd ever read in a comic. I was like, whoa, so Nick Fury's been working for the bad guys for 60 years. That's fucking awful. And they wrote a really good bunch of fucking comic books around it.
Yeah, but it wasn't Captain America. That's part of the problem.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Captain America. But basically, Nick Spencer's trying to pull off the same type of thing. I think he's a good enough writer to do it. That Marvel's rolling the dice on it. I say fucking let him take a shot.
You have to get past people's initial distaste of what it is they're doing to Captain America. And especially when you just had a movie come out that is all about Captain America and, oh, F Hydra, I've got to save Bucky, where the whole conceit of it is Hydra is evil and Captain America and the Avengers are shutting them down. It doesn't make sense. And especially... there's going to be some kind of twist, and here's what I think it'll be: is there's two branches of Hydra, and Cap's on the semi-good one, and Red Skull's got the evil one, and that's how they'll spin it. I don't know. But before we move on too far, there's a lot of comments we've missed in the chat room. I do want to try and go back and touch on some of them because it's been fairly active. Steven's got some fairly strong opinions on Captain America #1. So he goes,
Is it fuck?
it is not.
A little bit.
So we were talking Rebirth #1 and how we didn't think it was a cash grab and how he thought Captain America was. So here's how he started. He said, on the flip side, the reason I feel Captain America is a cash grab is because it's such a fundamental difference of the character. To me, emphasis is on me, it's very obvious there'll be some kind of mind control or something random so it won't stick. You can't do that to Cap, but the way they've left it and actually outright said it's what happened, it's a money grab. They knew what would happen, and it worked. There's literally zero chance it will stick. I agree with him. It's probably not going to stick. It'll get retconned. He continues and says, in unusual Marvel fashion, I think they're borderline lying about the direction of this Cap arc for money grab reasons. And he goes, and yeah, some people need to simmer down. Do I think it's odd? Hell yes, but not because of the premise. Okay, maybe a bit that, but because this sort of thing has been done. They could have done this sort of thing with any character. They chose Cap because they knew it would get this reaction, thus cash grab.
I have to agree with him on that. I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah, Steven's Canadian. I'm not really sure he's allowed to talk about Captain America.
Sure.
What is that, nationalist? Jingoist?
Have you been taking lessons from Donald Trump?
Yeah. Hey, I'm a veteran.
Man.
I'm a patriot. I'm allowed to have an opinion on Captain America, not Steven.
Thank you for your service. Shut your face hole.
Make Captain America again.
Make Captain America great again.
Oh, those shirts will be out next week. You fucking know
trademark.
they will.
Yeah.
You
So
fucking
Steven
know they will.
Steven was wrapping up his opinion on. He goes, "Well, I do firmly think this is clearly a Marvel cash grab. I stopped short at saying not to buy it. If I did that with Superior Spider-Man, I would have known that I enjoyed that. So I have to try this. It's going to be like saying I didn't go to a restaurant because they changed their menu, but I never actually went to try it to begin with. So I also disagree with people who say not to buy it if they don't like it. If they don't like the idea, that is."
That I understand.
Okay, but here's the thing.
$2. If you don't like it, don't buy it. But
Here's
yeah,
the thing.
don't spend
Here's
all
how
your
you-
time judging it if you haven't even tried it.
Here's how you influence the comic publishers in many cases. You have to vote with your wallet because they don't care what you say on social media because any press is good press.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing with that, though, is that kind of screws over comic book retailers, because if you say you want to pull it and then you stop pulling it and they buy it, because the way the comic book retailers work is that they buy the books and then they sell it to you, but they have to buy it before they can sell it. It doesn't really...
2 months ahead of time.
Yeah, like it can really screw up your retailer, so on that end of it does kind of suck.
Let's be honest, though, in Captain America, they're going to see a surge upwards because there were not a ton of people excited about this book until this event happened. There were
I'm
people
guaranteeing a third printing.
Yeah,
It'll go to a third printing.
They're doing another Captain America book? Who cares right now? And now with this that's come out, there's going to be a lot of people that come out and go, okay, I'm going to try it for a couple months, I think. You have the vocal minority in the internet that's always going to be vocal, regardless of what it is, who are like, oh, I effing hate this, I'm canceling all my Marvel books. Okay, that's 1% of the people that actually get comics. They don't care about that. They're more interested in the 20% of people that have read this news and go, oh, maybe I'll check this out for a couple issues and see what happens. So Nick Spencer's got 3 to 4 issues to try and hook people on this idea.
I think he's got less than that, honestly. If the second book isn't any good, they're not going to buy the third.
I don't know.
More than likely.
Generally on these things, when there's something that I'm interested in, like the twist on, I'll give it 3 to 4 issues. Because it takes a while to set up those arcs. And remember, they print everything towards trades anymore, so you're not going to get resolution in a number 2 issue. And
True,
3 and 4 you might start to.
Well, I think Marvel does 4 issues per trade now. They keep dropping their number. It's really annoying. But I think they're 4 issues per trade now, so you'll hear it by the 4th issue, I'm sure.
Now, the
they
biggest-
used to be 6 issues per trade.
It did.
Yeah.
Now, the biggest issue I had with this... Now, it doesn't make sense to me, the Captain America reveal. I think it's dumb. The bigger issue I had is the fact that, yet again, the mass media spoiled this before you could even go to your local comic shop to pick up the books. There were headlines on USA Today, the reveal, Captain America, Hydra, on all sorts of sites. Now, people smeared Bleeding Cool because they had the leaked Rebirth #1 pages. At least they didn't spoil it in the headline. You had to consciously choose to go and open it and view the leaked pages, whereas main market media here spoiled the ever-living shit out of this before I could even go and pick it up at a comic book store. It wasn't even safe to go through Google News because people are like, we have to be on top of this and get the clicks. So they put it right in their goddamn headline. Captain America's Hydra, that great twist. And I was like, you guys are assholes.
Yep.
Oh, I have
On
a.
his Twitter, Nick Spencer told people as soon as it was available on Comixology at like midnight, he was telling people, go read it now before the media gets a hold of it.
Yeah.
I have made it a clear point that I will not click on anything that says this will shock you, this will amaze you. Like I will not click on anything that says that.
I agree with you, Naki, and that's partly why they put the reveal in the headline itself, was to make people click, and it's a double-edged sword. I don't know. It's become, and I've had this complaint before. I had the same complaint when Spider-Man Unmasked in 2006 when USA Today had it on the front page before I could even buy Civil War. I've had it when they killed Captain America. Every time there's an event like this, the mass media spoils it before someone who buys the comics has a chance to go and read it. Yeah. And it's not like you can even avoid it. When they put it on the goddamn television, when you see it like the ticker on CNN and stuff like that, there's no getting away from it. You can't be like, well, I'm not going to go on the internet.
Yep.
I mean, who would have prepared themselves?
To avoid anything. Yeah.
And let's be honest, who would have prepared themselves not to click on something Captain America that day or mute the hashtag Captain America on Twitter that morning? Because nobody was expecting this. So it really hacks me off when this kind of thing happens.
It is frustrating because I haven't like I said, I haven't read the comic, but I knew way before that it was Captain America was going to be Hydra. It's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I don't need to read it now.
I picked it up yesterday. I read it. It's interesting. I still think it's dumb.
Well,
yeah, I'm still not saying I even think it's a good idea. I say if you want to go pick up a Nick Spencer book this month, go pick up the Fix #2 from Image. That book is fucking fantastic. It's like an old who was the tough guy actor in Point Blank, the one they turned into Payback. Lee Marvin. It's like an old Lee Marvin cop movie done as a comic book. It's
I was
fucking
thinking,
great.
I'm like, so Keanu Reeves or Patrick Swayze are we talking about?
No. Payback was Mel Gibson, which was a remake of the Lee Marvin movie Point Blank.
That was where my brain went, because I was
No. But yeah, The Fix is a fucking fantastic book. And it's by the same artist that worked with Lieber on The Superior Foes of Spider-Man, Steve Lieber. Steve Lieber and Nick Spencer are a good tag team.
So now that we've ranted and raved about comics and stuff, Willie, what did you have for the news? Because I honestly don't remember.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm just gonna last thing. I can't wait till they make a movie where Captain America is Hydra. No hell, Hydra.
So I'm glad he mentioned that. I forgot about two of the Twitter reactions I'd seen that I thought were hilarious. One was Chris Evans tweeted "Say it isn't so" about it, and then Brett Dalton, who plays Ward on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., had a tweet that said something to the effect of, "Well, I'm glad that gift basket we sent worked."
Nice.
Captain America was swayed by a gift basket.
That's what it was. And there have been some pretty cool photoshops of Hydra Cap that have been going around.
It does look like some pretty high-end cheese that they sent in that gift basket. How could you say no?
Well, especially after Tony took all his money and his toys away.
That's true. He took the shield away.
Poor
He gave
Cap.
it away.
That's true. Tony didn't take shit. Tony was laying on the ground in a pile of fucking ass whooping, and Cap dropped the shield.
This is true. So if you get a chance real quick, before I kick it to Willie, there's a really interesting opinion article over on Polygon. I'll put the link in the chat room. It's entitled "Someone Help Tony Stark," that makes the case that Tony, part of his issues is the fact he's been suffering from PTSD and crushing guilt since the very beginning, and they write a very compelling case for how that has shaped all of his actions in the MCU. It makes him a bit more sympathetic on some of these things when you realize that in his head he thinks he's doing the right thing, and here's why. It's a very interesting article.
Yeah, most villains do.
He's not a villain.
He's not a villain.
But, okay, to be fair, my favorite villains are the ones who think they're doing the right thing. So, like, Handsome Jack in Borderlands, like, he sincerely thinks he's making Pandora a better place
Magneto.
by killing everybody.
Magneto's the perfect example. He's not a supervillain.
That's the usual answer.
He's just trying to protect his people.
He's an extremist.
I think
So if you get a chance, go and read that article I dumped in the chat room over on Polygon. It's a couple weeks old, but it is a very good read. It's very interesting to me. I enjoyed it a good deal.
I'm still still Team Iron Man. So there's
Preach
that.
it, Naki, Team Iron Man.
Yeah.
Team Cap all the way.
Yeah,
Team
Captain
Cap.
Hydra. Suck it.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, no Hydra. No Hydra.
I love the fact that anytime the word Hydra is said by Willie, we hear Hail Hydra in the background.
Hell Hydra!
Cap's Hydra. I can't.
Some penis.
Cap's team Hydra. So there you go. You're part Team Cap. You're part Team Hydra. Apparently.
Hydra's
go.
made less mistakes than Tony Stark, so okay, Team Hydra.
Really? They've
Yeah.
made less mistakes
Hydra.
than Tony Stark?
He created Ultron!
Hydra doesn't have a drinking problem.
Hydra's not an alcoholic with parent issues.
Hydra made less mistakes.
Tony's
Then-
broken because his daddy didn't love him enough.
Chris, help me.
I'm just going to let
Hydra's
this stupidity reign on its own. It doesn't need me to comment on it.
Chris.
I'm not going to
Don't-
validate the stupidity by commenting on it. That comment is so stupid, I don't need to argue it.
it. It's so stupid.
I see in the chat room, Steven says
But
Team
you
Tim
can't
over
fight
here.
it.
And then Cajun Sean, this is why I'm Team Deadpool.
Team
Team
Deadpool.
Hello Kitty.
Yeah, there you go, Team Hello Kitty.
So, Willie, what'd you have for us this week as we're 10 minutes left in the show and haven't gotten through news of the week?
I don't know if I can follow this. I mean,
You
I'll
can't.
try.
But try anyways.
Yeah, let's see if we can rile up some feminists up in
Oh,
here.
God.
Oh, there we go.
I'm
Well,
looking at
you already
Nike.
topped it. There's going to be the rage emails coming in.
So, I don't know how many of you guys have heard of the Angry Video Game Nerd. I've
Yeah.
been watching him for 10 years, it seems.
He's been on
But
forever.
he made a... Yeah, he made a video recently where he said he's just not even going to see the new Ghostbusters. And people, or more specifically, feminists, have gone wild on that little factoid, calling him misogynist and all this, because just because it has women? No, he never said that. He said
never
it just
said that.
doesn't look good. It's not the same type of humor as the original.
So,
I was going to say, yeah.
And
I was just
I'm
going to ask why he's not seen it. If he's
Yeah.
not seen it because it looks like a shit movie, that's a perfectly valid opinion, because it looks like a shit movie.
That's like for me, and we're talking like I am an equality feminist, not one of these feminazis who are like, oh, men are evil and blah blah blah. Like, no, that's not the case. Like, that for equality. The thing that's happening with him, like, just makes me look at them and makes me look at feminists and go, I don't want to be equated with you. Because he's not saying that he's not seeing the movie because it's female driven. He's saying he doesn't want to see the movie because it looks like shit. And it does.
it doesn't look good to me, and I have not said it on here, but I will
God, it
say it
does.
right now, is I don't really want to review it, not because I think it's going to be great or terrible or anything like that, but because it's a losing proposition for me. If I don't like it, it's because I'm a 30-year-old white dude and I'm a misogynist. If I like it, it's because I'm pandering. So it's a lose-lose proposition in that regard for me, because there's no winning whether I like it or not.
It's a lose-lose proposition for anybody, honestly. Like, if you're a feminist, you have to like it, or you're against women. And it's like, well, no, the movie's shit. Why would I want it? I don't.
I mean, put yourself in his shoes for a second. He's developed this channel all around his movie liking and things like that, and talking about these things. It does nothing for him to go and talk about this if he doesn't like it, because he's just going to get destroyed. Oh, he doesn't like it because he's a misogynist. He hates women. It's not because the movie's terrible. It's because he hates the fact it's for women. No, there's no winning.
It's not for women. It's Ghostbusters.
No, there's 4 women is what I
Oh,
is
okay.
what I thought I said. Sorry. There's 4 is in the number, not FOR women. Sorry, let me clarify before this.
Four Stick Busters.
Yeah, let me clarify before this spirals out of control and I get misquoted on the internet somewhere. I'm not saying the movie is for women, but there are 4 women in the lead role.
Chris Farrell says the new Ghostbusters is only for women.
Oh, shit. Here comes the hate mail.
But, and this is...
Formal wear.
As a feminist, I have no desire to see this movie. Now, I really like the all-new Ghostbusters, the comic book series, where it's all women because it's written really well, but everything that I've seen in the trailer looks like shit. So I'm like...
Well, and that first trailer was fucking awful. If you're going to not be part of the previous universe, then don't mention the previous universe in your fucking trailer.
Well, it was poorly cut. The fan cut was so much better than that trailer.
Great. Yeah, the fan cut with the actual song was fantastic.
Look, here's all you need to know about that original trailer. Kevin Smith didn't like it. Wait, hold on. Kevin Smith didn't like it, and Kevin Smith loves everything anymore.
That's true.
That's true.
He loves everything to the point of crying.
Yeah.
And he thought it was bad. Yeah, that trailer was really, really poorly done.
Sorry, I read the chat room right now. Steven says, this is exactly why Chris, Anthony, Willie, and I are going in talks with Lionsgate to do a reimagining of Bridesmaids. Groomsmen. It'll be the opposite effect, right? Everyone will say that it means Everyone will say that it means if anyone hates it, they don't like men, right? So come see Groomsmen starring us.
From the Gonna Geek Network.
And so, like, the other thing that I'm seeing, and I'm bringing it back on topic, sorry. The other thing that I'm seeing is that people are saying that this Ghostbusters isn't for our generation, it's for the new generation. Well, what you're saying is that Ghostbusters should be stupid and not reference the old Ghostbusters by any case, but reference it automatically, and it's stupid. And I'm like...
Okay,
so you're making the new generation give stupid movies.
I wasn't even born when Ghostbusters came out. I wasn't even born when Ghostbusters came out. How is it not for me? How is it for my generation then?
Right.
I was 0.
Like I was just like.
That's true. I'm the only one here old enough that the original Ghostbusters was for me. I was out in the theaters seeing those movies. Y'all weren't around when those movies hit the theaters.
Yeah. To steal the title from this week's Gonna Geek podcast, I was not even a sperm yet when that came out.
Well, you're probably a sperm. You're just in the bottom of the sack.
That could be. I don't know.
How long does sperm live in the balls?
I don't know.
Do we want to get scientific?
I don't really want to get into that.
Because I've actually looked into that just because I was curious at one point.
Was this when you worked in the sex shop?
No, it was like 2 years ago.
I do just want to put out, too, that this movie, like a bunch of feminists are protecting it. But in that, the international trailer, they're like, look, these ghosts have boobies.
I mean, it's so, like, it doesn't look good, and the fact that feminists are already, like, the feminazis are already being like, if you don't like it, you hate women, and blah, 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 and I'm, like, sitting there, like, okay, then I guess I hate women, because this trailer looks like shit. It's like, I don't...
That's right. I'll go see it. I'll review it. I enjoy hate mail.
The Femihydras?
Femihydras.
But I mean, like, so
Nazis are way more Nazi than Hydra was ever Nazi. Come on,
dear Lord.
There's some crazy feminists out there that I don't know how to deal with because, like, I know that I get emails and comments and all y'all. I hear it that y'all hate that I speak on the feminist side and the equality side. I get it. Thank you. You can stop sending the hate mail. Anyways.
No, I will not. I will continue to send them to you.
Yes, thank you. All of my hate mail is supposed to be directed to Anthony, by the way.
Yeah. Anthony@gonnageek.com.
But the thing
He's
is
gonna
that,
deal with
like,
that well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The thing is that it's just if something doesn't look good, if it's not appealing, and it has nothing to do with the characters, but just the fact that it looks stupid, it looks stupid. Like, so take into example the new Rocky Horror that's coming out with Laverne Cox as Frankenfurter, and I was like, I don't really care, because I will never be able to see Rocky Horror as other than Tim Curry as Frankenfurter or whatever. And everyone's like, well, you just hate transgenders. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I had the same thought on Rocky Horror. I said Tim Curry's always going to be Rocky for me. I'm interested to see what they do with it.
Frankenfurter.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Sorry, brain fart. But
yeah, Stallone's Rocky. Settle down.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't mean it's not going to be good, but to me, it's always going to be Tim Curry because look at them legs. Like, that man rocks them legs. And it's like, it has nothing to do with who it is.
At least Tim Curry's going to be in the remake, all right? We've got
and
that
he
much going
is
for
going to
us.
be in the remake.
Yeah, I hated that movie.
Is he going to be
To me,
dressed in
Tim
the devil
Curry is
thing like in
Pennywise the
Legend?
Clown.
That's
He's
because
the-
the movie isn't good.
He's darkness.
The movie, honestly, the movie's not good. I was in the cast for like 4 years. The movie's not good.
It's fun because of the
I thought the
spectacle.
movie came out before you were born.
It is a movie that came out before I was born. The movie's older than me
How
by
were you
like
in
10
it?
years.
Were
It's
you the sperm
live
in
cast.
it?
Live cast. Live cast.
Naki was the sperm in Rocky Horror Picture Show. You heard it here first, people.
My mom was in the live cast though, so I could have been an egg.
It's possible. It is possible.
It's literally in my blood to be in Rocky Horror. That's terrifying. I was Columbia and Magenta on the live cast. There you go. So
Thank you, Cajun.
okay, so Columbia is the yippy dog-faced one who does the tap dance during the time warp and falls on her ass, and then Magenta is the maid with the big hair that has elbow sex with her brother. So
That
again,
doesn't sound weird at all.
the movie doesn't make any fucking sense.
I have a new fetish
Elbow sex? Elbow sex.
with
Elbow
brother.
sex.
With his brother.
With your brother. There you go.
Yeah.
I do have to mention, even though I do have the poster, I still have yet to see the movie.
What?
Okay, now that's awful.
Go see a live version.
The live versions are great.
I want to wait to go see it in that whole thing where everyone's doing all the crazy shit, and it only happens on Halloween, and every year something always goes a little off.
Okay, so every Saturday
Yep,
in
yep.
Chicago, we do it. Well, not me anymore. I used to, but every Saturday in Chicago, there is a performance right by me. And next time you come to Chicago, I'll take you. But it's every Saturday at midnight.
I
used
know
to be
there's
the
one
head of
in Des Moines that happens monthly, so there's got to be one that happens near you.
Yeah, there's one that's every
I
Saturday
had to research.
at midnight.
Oh, you have to Google poo.
It's so
Or
hard
I
to
could
Google
just wait
these
till Halloween
days.
where I know where it's gonna be.
Wait,
And you'll
let me
miss it again.
Let me Google that for you. Okay, Google.
Wait, that was a title of an
When
episode.
does Rocky Horror Picture Show play? I did it!
So, real quick, we
I
are
hate you
starting to
all.
run out of
Except for
time.
Chris, not a-
We are starting to run out of time. We're over an hour into this episode. We barely got through the news of the week, so I would assume that next week we will probably be talking about X-Men Apocalypse.
Maybe. I still have no desire to see it.
I'm gonna go see it tonight.
Am I the only one that's seen it so far?
I have seen X-Men Apocalypse already.
Did you see it to the very end?
I did say
I
it
tried
the
to
very
go see it
end.
last night. Didn't work.
I forgot
No
that it came out
spoiling.
this week.
You see,
So I
Billy's
was
got
just-
excuses.
I will not make any comments on X-Men Apocalypse until next week, but I imagine we will talk about it in some way, shape, or form next week on the podcast. But before we do get out of here, I did want to do some shameless self-promotion. We are part of the Gonna Geek Network. We do like to highlight some episodes of other shows on the network. I already sort of mentioned the title of this one. This week I want to tell you about the Gonna Geek podcast number 147, entitled Not Even a Sperm Yet. During the show, GFQ Network Suncast joins the crew to discuss Android apps coming to Chrome OS, the Marvel Cinematic Universe passing the $10 billion mark at the box office, and Mars Tsunamis. In Geekback, we take your feedback and share our thoughts on the Star Trek Beyond trailer and the Star Trek teaser video for the upcoming series. So go check that out over at GonnaGeekNetwork.com. It is the official GonnaGeek.com podcast.
Does Steven come out as a Hydra agent in that one?
He does not. It is, in fact, Suncast that is the Hydra agent. It is
I was gonna
revealed.
say I'd actually put it on Suncast to be the Hydra agent in that grouping.
I saw that coming a mile away, though. I mean, that's too obvious.
But he's on good Hydra. Steven is the secret, double secret probation Hydra agent.
So are we doing?
Know what that means?
So are we doing the one sentence wrap up?
One sentence wrap up?
Well, usually because we do what I'm into.
Oh,
and we're
okay.
like way over this week.
Yeah, we'll do our wrap up. What I'm into. Make it a sentence or two, folks. What you've been getting into or planning on getting into. I'll go first. I rewatched The Avengers because that's awesome, and I've been reading some cool books. That's what I've been getting into. Willie, what about you?
Oh jeez, I gotta go quick. Uncharted 4. Find me Willie D. Nelson on the PSN network. Lock and Key up to Volume 3 so far.
Yeah!
Watched Oh Brother Where Art Thou again last night. Still awesome.
You're way over. You're way
my
over.
My mind's gone now. Shut up, Naki!
All right, Naki, what have you been getting into?
Play Doom. It's beautifully grotesque.
Beautifully grotesque? That's a hell of a way of putting it.
It is?
Get your
There's some Willie crotch for you on the video camera.
Get your crotch out of here, Willie.
Doom!
Anthony, what have you been getting into, sir?
Shut up, Naki.
X-Men Apocalypse was fun, but most of the good shit was in the trailers. But stay till the very end of the credits. It is worth seeing. And I've been drawing pacifist cards, which I'll keep doing for a very long time. And I might have a comic coming out next year.
Ooh.
Yay!
All right, and very quick as we start wrapping things up, I did want to send a thank you to Kevin Long, who emailed us with some pictures from Motor City Comic Con that he said we could use for clever cosplay coming up, both good and bad ones. I have not had a chance to look at them, but thank you, Kevin, for that email.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at gunnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gunnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGNpodcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com. And because I totally screwed up the exit, don't forget the next live show over at geeks.live is the official gunnageek.com podcast, Monday at 8:45 p.m. Eastern. That's 5:45 p.m. Pacific for all you left coasters.
No Hell Hydra.
Hell Hydra.
So that's
no
it.
Hell Hydra.
Hell Hydra.
Thank you everyone who watched live in the Peanut Gallery, Cajun Sean, Suncast, Steven, and I thought there might have been someone else, but I'm completely... Draftsman was in there earlier as well.
Yeah, Draftsman was there.
See, brain fart. We do enjoy having the Peanut Gallery around. Thank you for putting up with our ridiculous rants at times today, and our dick talk.
Our ridiculous rants and dick talk is what they're here for, Chris.
Hail Crash Grab, Steven says.
Hell Hydra.
Hail Cash Grab. It's the same thing.
Hell Hydra? No.
No Hell Hydra.
So, question for... Well, I'll wait until we're off the air. Everyone live, thank you for watching. We're going to go off the air, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.